Hey friends, welcome back to another Pick a Card reading. Today's reading is all about your next big financial opportunity. If you would like to explore my podcast or my online shop, check out the links in the description. And if you are new to Pick a Card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the Amethyst crystal. We have pile 2 here with the Malachite crystal. We have pile 3 here with the heat-treated citrine, and then we have pile 4 here with the Carnelian crystal. Now, you can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you are ready, go ahead and go to the description of this video and find the timestamp that is linked to your pile so you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much, friends, for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the inside. Hey pile 1, hey friends. Okay, so let's dive into your reading all about your next big financial opportunity. So first I want to start off with talking about your current financial energy and any sort of blockages or challenges that you might be overcoming. So we have the 9 of Cups in reverse here, and typically when the 9 of Cups is upright, it's referred to as the wish fulfillment card. But when it appears in reverse, it can represent feeling a sense of dissatisfaction or having like unfulfilled desires. So in terms of financial energy, I don't know if some of you out here feel like your financial goals or your dreams are not quite aligning with your reality, or maybe there's a sense that things that you have worked for are not bringing in that happiness or that contentment that you expected. So I wonder for some of you here, maybe you've achieved some financial success, but maybe it doesn't feel as satisfying as you thought it would, right? So maybe you might have been striving for a specific financial milestone, right? Like a salary increase or a new job or some sort of specific business goal. But now that it's within reach, I don't know if some of you are feeling a bit like hollow or like maybe it feels unsatisfactory in some way. I wonder also if there's a sense of maybe like disconnection between what you have and then what you truly desire. So I'm feeling like with the 9 of Cups in reverse here, pile 1, I wonder if like for some of you here, maybe you need to reflect on what truly brings you fulfillment and adjust your financial aspirations accordingly, right? So like, are your financial goals aligned with your true values? And if not, like it could be time to realign them, right? We also have the 2 of Cups in reverse here. So this can point to like disharmony or misalignment, especially as it has to do with your relationships. It can also talk about a lack of cooperation or an imbalance in partnerships or any sort of collaborations that you guys have. In the context of your finances though, I wonder if this means anything about having like unresolved issues with a business partner or a colleague or a spouse, right? That's affecting your financial situation. So maybe some of you here are feeling disconnected from a financial partner, or, maybe you're not feeling like you're in alignment with this person regarding money matters. Pile 1, I wonder for some of you here, maybe there's some disagreements or a lack of trust that's hindering that financial progress. I wonder if you feel like maybe you're not receiving the support that you need to thrive financially. So with this, I feel like it's important to address any communication issues and work on building trust or compromise with those involved in your finances, because it's important to take the time to ensure that you're both on the same page regarding your financial goals and your responsibilities and your contributions, right? So now let's dive into what your next big financial opportunity is, right? So what is this opportunity that's on the horizon for you, pile 1? We have Fortress of Protection here. And so with this card, this is a very strong protective energy around you and your financial future. I feel like the opportunity on the horizon could involve securing your financial position or maybe even preparing for some sort of long-term stability. So I wonder for some of you here, you might benefit from like creating some sort of financial plan that shields you from any sort of potential risks, or maybe you're going to set up structures that protect your wealth and your assets. So maybe some of you here will manifest an opportunity to invest in some sort of stable asset, right? Like real estate or I don't know, insurance, or, perhaps some sort of opportunity to set up a retirement account or an emergency fund that provides you with this peace of mind for the future, right? So it would be good to kind of fortify those financial foundations and ensure that you are doing what it takes to safeguard your wealth from any sort of unexpected challenges. So I do think, pile one, you have this chance to create this lasting financial security through things like careful planning and establishing protective measures that are going to keep you safe in turbulent times. We also have ascending the mountain here, and this one says keep going forward. I'm feeling like this is encouraging you to keep persevering and continue with your determination, pile one. I wonder if this financial opportunity or this financial goal that awaits you, maybe it's not something that shows up immediately, but it's something that allows you to reach the summit or reach the top with steady progress, right? Or with continued effort. And whatever obstacles come up, if any, they're merely part of the journey towards greater rewards for you. So maybe some of you here are facing a challenging career project or a business venture or an investment opportunity that requires some sort of long-term commitment or hard work. And even though progress may seem slow or the effort needed may feel daunting, this card urges you to stay focused and to keep pushing forward, because the outcome is going to be worth it, pile one. So the opportunity here is not to seek shortcuts, right? But it's to embrace the journey. And I feel like once you overcome whatever you need to overcome, it's going to bring you significant financial growth and accomplishment. So now I want to talk about any advice for maximizing this opportunity, right? This financial opportunity. We have Squirrel Spirit, and this one says, believe in yourself. So with this one, I feel like it's important to trust your own abilities and your resourcefulness. I feel like this card encourages you to have confidence in your financial instincts and to prepare for the future, right? Like we spoke about earlier. Maybe you're going to be gathering resources. Maybe you're going to be, proactive in some way, because squirrels are known for storing food, right, in times of abundance, so that they can ensure that they have what they need during times that things feel leaner, or different seasons and all that kind of stuff. So again, I feel like pile one, it would be great if you took the time to reflect on how you want to save or how you want to invest wisely, right? Or doing something to plan ahead for your future financial needs. So maybe you're going to be saving up for a down payment, right, on a new apartment or a house or whatever it is. I just think that with this card, it's time to start trusting in your ability to make the right decisions, even if they require patience and discipline from you. So whether this is setting aside money for an emergency fund or investing in your career development, the time to start prepping, start planning, start saving, right? That time is now. So pile one, have confidence in your plans and your actions, right? No matter how small the steps are, it's important for you to continue to build that financial future with care and with belief in your own capabilities. We also have Dragon's Hoard here, and this one says protecting the future. Interesting. I see a key here too. So maybe you're gonna lock something away and save it for later, or save it for the future. I feel like you're gonna be safeguarding your wealth and, again, planning for future success. I feel like just as a dragon guards its treasure, this card is advising you to either protect your assets or your resources carefully, right? Again, it's the time to make sure that your wealth is being used wisely and that you're setting yourself up for long-term success. So maybe this means some of you are reviewing your investments or securing your business or making sure that your assets are well protected through things like insurance, right? Or wills or trusts or financial plans, right? I think it's time to start thinking about what kind of financial legacy you want to build and kind of the long-term health of your financial situation. So pile one, don't just focus on short-term goals, but ensure that everything that you do is also setting you up for future success, right? So take the measures to protect and grow your wealth steadily and securely. Now, I also want to get more information from our Animal Power book. We're going to look and see if Squirrel Spirit has anything for us. Okay, so this one says squirrel. So preparedness, action, work and play balance, divine timing, trust, and solutions. So when to work with me? When you need more play in your life, when you want the security of ample resources, when you want to declutter, when you want to trust the cycles of movement and rest, when you want confidence to take action. Energy medicine. I teach the importance of preparing and securing proper bounty to best support you in the future. Work with me to keep an abundant supply of what you feel is most important, but don't hoard that which you do not truly need. I bring forth the medicine of play. Working towards your goals is vital, but remember that lightheartedness and adventure will recharge you and help you avoid burnout. Are you scurrying frantically in lots of different directions with no clear plan? Take a breather, spend some time engaging in play, and come back with clarity. Choose one thing to focus on first. Do not push your energy, body, or spirit when you truly feel called to rest. Trust your natural cycles and know that rest will fuel you so that you can move forward toward restored energy. Learning through stepping forward and taking action is what I recommend. Don't stifle yourself or procrastinate due to fear. My main medicine is a no-worry mind. I show you how to effortlessly pivot and try new avenues and solutions when one path doesn't seem to be working. Know you'll find your way. I love that. Know that you'll find your way, Pile 1. I'll have this book linked for you in the description if you feel called to check it out. Let's get any additional info that might be important for you to know in terms of this next big financial opportunity. So we have the ascendant here. This one says identity, and it says a star rises in the east. You are developing a key factor of your identity or personality. This impacts other people, but it is also an affirmation of what is important to you. Allow for a new beginning. Remember you are unique and find your self-assurance. Wow. Okay, so like your ascendant or your rising sign, it represents the outward personality and how you present yourself to the world. By the way, if you're interested in learning about, your birth chart, how to understand your signs and all of that in an easy and simple way, right? Like a beginner's way. And if you feel called, check out my podcast, the That's Deep podcast. I have it linked for you in the description. I teach you how to understand your astrology and how to use other self-discovery tools to leverage your success in your career, life, business, personal relationships, all of that. So link is in the description if you feel called. But back to the ascendant here, back to identity. I feel like in the context of finances, this card might suggest that the way you project yourself and your financial values to others could play a significant role in your financial opportunities. So maybe it's time to step into a new financial identity, right? Like maybe take a look at what your rising sign is, Pile 1. When I've been leaning into embodying my rising sign, I'm a Scorpio rising, it's been a game changer, right? So I think that if you've been unsure about your worth or your financial potential, now's the time to start changing that narrative, right? So the way that others perceive your financial abilities or your brand can significantly impact your opportunities, right? So pay attention to how you're presenting yourself to others, especially in professional settings. I think it's time to trust in your financial worth and embrace this confident, forward-thinking mindset. And I do think that this will lead you to new opportunities to grow your wealth. We also have a super attractor card here, and this one says, when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. Ooh, so this is almost like a fun little exercise where you can play a game with yourself and keep track of all of the abundance in your life, right? So if you woke up and your partner already made you breakfast, that's a gift, right? That's abundance in your life. If you woke up and your child gave you a big hug before they went to school, right? That's a gift. That's love. If somebody just gave you, like your grandma just gave you a $20 bill, that's a gift, right? So almost make it a game. See how much abundance you can acknowledge or you can recognize in your day today. And the more that we acknowledge the abundance that already surrounds us, the more we invite and attract that to come in more, right? So yes. Okay, I want to roll some astro dice to get more information for Pile 1. Tell us more about Pile 1's next big financial opportunity. Okay, so we have Neptune. Is that Neptune? No, we have Pluto in Sagittarius in the 4th house. Ooh, okay, so with Pluto in Sagittarius in the 4th house, I feel like pile 1, your next big financial opportunity is something that might come from either like real estate or an inheritance or transforming family assets, right? Or some sort of community assets. I wonder if some of you here are going to be involved with like foreign property or relocation or some sort of physical or spiritual space at home. I wonder if some of you here are going to be looking for chances to either invest or renovate or expand in ways tied to your home and legacy. I love that because we spoke about legacy earlier. So yes, thank you so much, pile 1. I hope that was fun. And if you love this video, please give it a like. Comment below with what pile you chose. You guys know you're my spiritual besties. I say that all the time. I love to chat with you all in the comments. So let me know what came up. Let me know what resonates. Let me know what pile you chose. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, friends. I really appreciate you. If you feel called, check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of other readings and videos for you to explore. And if you also feel called, check out my spirituality and personal development podcast and my online shop. I have that linked for you in the description. Love y'all, friends. See you later. Bye. Hey pile 2, hey friends, welcome to your reading all about your next big financial opportunity. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to talk about your current financial energy, what's going on, are there any blockages or challenges to overcome as it has to do with your financial situation. So the first card that we have here is Justice, and with Justice, this represents things like fairness, balance, and truth. So in the context of your finances, I feel like this card can talk about your current financial situation being heavily influenced by the need for things like fairness and things like balance. So I wonder for some of you here, if you are working within a system where decisions or agreements need to be reevaluated to make sure that they feel equal or equitable, right? Pile 2, I wonder also if you felt like something in your financial life just hasn't been handled fairly, either by you or by others, because Justice calls for transparency and maybe even a need to make amends in some way. So I wonder if some of you here are going through a challenge around needing to align your financial decisions with your personal values, or maybe you're in a situation where you need to make a tough but a fair choice, right? So I wonder if for some of you, you're feeling imbalanced in some way, right? Whether it's in spending or saving or how you approach financial negotiations. I feel like this is my pile that may need to confront financial issues that have been swept under the rug in some way. Like, for example, if you've been overextending yourself financially, or, maybe you've been committing to a project or a business deal that just doesn't align with your ethical values, Justice here is urging you to course correct and to reestablish fairness in some way. We also have the King of Cups here, and so this card represents things like being emotionally mature. It represents things like being balanced and being compassionate. So I wonder if some of you are in a place where emotional intelligence is key, right? So maybe your financial situation seems stable on the surface, but maybe there are emotions or underlying beliefs that are affecting your financial decisions. Like maybe you're being called to approach your finances with a calm, grounded perspective rather than letting anxiety or impulsiveness take charge. I feel like also the King of Cups could point to maybe difficulties in managing emotions around money. Like I wonder if some of you have a hard time either with controlling emotional impulses when it comes to spending or investing or, dealing with financial stress. Or maybe it could talk about the need to seek guidance from someone emotionally mature, right? So like, and I'm not saying that you're not emotionally mature, but like somebody who has like, someone you look up to, you think that they're emotionally mature in terms of their finances, right? So like a mentor or a financial advisor or someone with a very solid financial track record so that you can learn to manage your finances in a more balanced, calm way. So for example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by debt or financial decisions, or you're being clouded by feelings of fear or guilt, the King of Cups is asking you to take a step back and make more thoughtful and measured decisions. Okay, so let's talk about the big financial opportunity that's on the horizon for you. We have the Champion here, and with this card, it represents things like victory, like overcoming challenges and achieving this sense of accomplishment, right? So I definitely think, pile 2, you're on the verge of some sort of significant opportunity that's going to allow you to achieve a big win or, achieve a big breakthrough. And I feel like maybe this is going to come after, this period of struggle that you've been through, or all of this time that you've had to prove yourself in some way, right? This is a card of success. So whatever opportunity is on the horizon for you, pile 2, is likely to result in some sort of financial gain or some sort of recognition of your abilities, which I think is going to lead to new financial doors opening for you as well. Like, you're going to be just such a beautiful, it's weird, I want to say beautiful agent of money. I hope that makes sense. Like, the abundance that you call into your life and the abundance that you use, it's going to be used for the good of all, right? It's like almost changing your perspective about money. Like, it's a tool, right? It's a tool for more opportunities. It's a tool for more comfort or safety or security to help others, right? So I feel like some of you here, you're either going to get like a big promotion at work or some sort of lucrative business deal, or some of you here are even going to get like maybe a big financial windfall after a period of careful planning and effort. All right, so pile 2, be on the lookout to receive the fruits of your labor, whether this is through a salary increase or a successful investment or some kind of recognition in your field. We also have fogged in. This one says, go slow, take time. So I wonder if any of you here are going through, a time of uncertainty, or like a time of confusion, or a time of, a time where you feel a little bit of lack of clarity. And I feel like this opportunity is on the horizon for you, but it's not yet time to like rush into it, right? So this energy is about being cautious. It's about taking things one step at a time. And so you will have this victory with the champion, but it's okay to do like a slow and steady wins the race type of stuff, right? It's important for you to gain clarity before moving forward, before diving in. Like, you wouldn't just dive into the waters if they were unclear, right? You don't know what's in it. So I definitely think that pile 2, you're going to have the opportunity to invest in something or to take on a new business venture. But right now, maybe the details aren't fully clear. So instead of you jumping in impulsively, just practice that patience, right? Take the time to do research on it or clarify, the finer points of the opportunity. Just make sure that everything is aligned before you make your final decision. Let's talk about any sort of advice that you can have to maximize this next big financial opportunity. So we have Snake Spirit, and this one says time to heal. Snakes, they represent things like transformation, healing, shedding your old skin. So you're going to heal from some sort of past financial wounds or limiting beliefs about money in order to fully embrace your opportunity. So pile 2, for those of you who have had past financial setbacks or you've been carrying old emotional baggage around money, right? Like guilt or fear or scarcity mindset, it's time to release that, right? Because only by healing can you truly step into that financial abundance that's waiting for you. So to maximize whatever opportunity is coming your way, pile 2, it's time to look within and ask yourself, are there any negative financial beliefs or past failures that are holding me back? Because it's time to let go of these outdated patterns so that you can make space for more growth, right? More abundance. Maybe in the past you've experienced a financial loss or a struggle, but with Snake here, it's reminding you that this experience doesn't define your future. It's time for personal growth, and it's time to let go of those self-limiting beliefs, and it's time to embrace the abundance that you know you're worthy of, pile 2. We also have Galactic Mushroom. This one says the Divine Matrix. So this one represents like interconnectedness and understanding that everything is part of the bigger picture. It's about seeing beyond the immediate circumstances, and it's about trusting that the universe or the divine or whatever it is that you believe in, right? Because we have space for everybody's needs here. The divine has a larger plan for you. So in terms of maximizing your financial opportunity, it's just this reminder that you're part of a larger flow and that the right opportunities are aligning for you. So pile 2, keep trusting in the process, keep taking inspired action when the time feels right. Trust the cosmic timing of your financial opportunities because you are being guided by a larger force in some way, right? And while it might not always be clear in the moment, things are actually falling into place. So Remain open to the signs and the synchronicities that come your way. And if an unexpected opportunity comes up, trust that it's a part of a larger plan, right? Even if it doesn't make perfect sense right now, trust that it's going to lead you to something meaningful if you embrace it with faith and with confidence. So let's also get more information from Snake Spirit from our Animal Power book. I'll have this linked for you in the description if you feel called. Okay, so Snake. So this one says transcendence, transmutation, shedding the old, sexual fire, life force, and creativity. When to work with me, when you are ready to let go of what no longer serves you, when you want to set yourself free, when you are ready to awaken your true spiritual life force from within, when you want to align with your divine sexual and creative powers. Energy medicine. I am here to assist you in shedding your old skin. It's time to transmute and be reborn. I evoke sensuality, sexual energy, fertility. My medicine makes you feel alive. If you are feeling my call, your creative forces are awakening. What creation are you ready to give birth to? Call upon me to assist in raising your Kundalini energy, the life force that leads to spiritual awakening. I help you clear each chakra so that you can connect to the spiritual plane. I can teach you how to see into the heart of others. Work with me to reveal sacred truths. When I appear, pay closer attention to the guidance and the whispers of your higher self. I am a sign that your intuition is strengthening. Interesting. Pile 2. It's time to transmute and be reborn. Okay, so let's dive into any additional info that might be important for you to know. So we have perspective here, and this one says Gemini Spirit. Every book contains a story. Stories can be enrapturing. We tell stories to make sense of life, but sometimes our stories limit us. Which stories are carved in stone and which are you ready to revise? Write your autobiography from a new perspective and enjoy a shift in attitude. I really do think that this confirms what we were talking about letting go of old stories, letting go of old patterns, or letting go of, these self-limiting beliefs that are holding you back financially, right? So I feel like it's important for you, Pile 2, to step back and to look at your financial situation from a broader and more open-minded perspective. Gemini energy is all about communication and adaptability and finding new ways of thinking. I feel like the key to unlocking this financial opportunity, Pile 2, is to see things from a different angle or an approach, right? So maybe you need to be more flexible in your thinking or communicate more openly with others to get the insights that you need. And I feel like there's some sort of shift in perspective again. So again, there's a shift in perspective or a new way of thinking that's necessary for you to fully embrace this opportunity. So consider talking to others, right? Seek advice, think outside of the box. I think being flexible and adaptable will really serve you well in this process, Pile 2. So for example, if you've been stuck in some sort of, particular financial mindset that doesn't feel empowering, this card is inviting you to try a new approach. So maybe consider consulting a mentor or researching new financial strategies or simply taking a fresh look at your goals with a more open and curious mindset. We also have, when I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. So wow. Again, I think this is another confirmation. It's like go within, balance yourself, right? Go slow, take time. Take time to discern before diving in, right? And maybe this is also a sign to not rush the universe, right? Like do your part, take the action that you need to co-create, but when it's time, right? When it's time to step back, when it's time to release, let the universe do its work too, right? So I also want to roll some astro dice to get more information for Pile 2. Pile 2, what else do they need to know about their next big financial opportunity? So we have Neptune in Capricorn in the 7th house. Ooh, okay, so with Neptune and Capricorn in the 7th house, Pile 2, I feel like your next big financial opportunity is going to come through some sort of partnership or collaboration or client relationship, right? Especially one that involves creativity and spirituality and some sort of long-term vision. So I think that this means creative business ventures or branding or consulting in a mystical or an artistic field. So pile 2, remember, trust your intuition. Get clarity in contracts, right? Don't over idealize things, but because sometimes Neptune can be, it can make us have some illusions, but just know that your next big financial opportunity is creative. It's collaborative, right? It's relationship based. So yes, thank you so much, pile 2. I hope that you had fun on that reading. Please give this video a like if it resonates. Comment below with what pile you chose. You guys know you are my spiritual besties. I say that all the time. I love to chat with you all in the comments, so let me know what came up. Let me know what resonates. Let me know what pile you chose, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. And thank you so much, friends. Take care of yourself. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of other readings and videos for you to explore. And if you feel called to check out my personal development and spirituality podcast or my online shop, I have that linked for you below in the description. So thank you, friends. Love y'all. Bye. Hey, pile 3. Hey, friends. Let's dive into your reading all about your next big financial opportunity. So the first thing I want to talk about here is your current financial energy and any sort of blockages or challenges to overcome as it has to do with this next big financial opportunity. So we have the Knight of Wands here, and this card represents things like having this burst of energy, having this enthusiasm, and having that ambition, right? Having that fire. And I also feel like with this, maybe some of you are in a period where you're full of ideas, right? And you're ready to take bold actions. You're not feeling afraid to take risks and chase after what you want, and this is excellent for generating income, pile 3. Just remember though, sometimes the Knight of Wands is impulsive and often acts without fully thinking things through. So for example, right, like you might find yourself jumping into some sort of investment opportunity or some sort of business venture without thoroughly researching them. And so while your passion and your energy is completely undeniable, pile 3, the Knight of Wands can also tell us that maybe this drive or this fire can cause us to overlook important details or to rush into decisions that could result in setbacks, right? So I think the challenge here is to balance that enthusiasm with a more measured approach. So this card is the card that encourages us to channel our energy into projects that align with your long-term goals and to plan more carefully before acting. We also have the Tower here, and with the Tower, this represents things like sudden changes, having an epiphany. It can also represent things like upheaval or maybe even like a crisis, right? Feeling like you're in a crisis. So it's this energy that really shakes things up, and it can leave us feeling a little unstable or uncertain. So I wonder if some of you here have been through financial loss before, or maybe you've been through a dramatic shift in your financial situation, or maybe you've experienced some sort of unexpected event that challenged your stability. Right? Maybe some of you here have experienced some sort of major financial setback, like a sudden expense or a failed investment or some sort of disruption in your job or your business. And while the energy of the Tower can feel jarring, it's not inherently negative, right? It's something that signals us that maybe some things were built on shaky ground and they're being cleared away to make room for something better, right? Something more solid. So with this, I feel like the challenge here is to embrace the changes and to rebuild on a more solid foundation, like I just spoke about. Because with the Tower, it reminds us that sometimes our growth and like divine growth, right, the growth that was always meant for us, sometimes it comes through disruption. And although it feels like a setback sometimes, it pushes us toward a healthier financial future. So I want to talk about this next big financial opportunity that's on the horizon for you. We have radiant abundance here. So with this card, I feel like your financial opportunities are about to bloom, right? They're about to bring you prosperity, wealth, feelings of fulfillment. I think that this card represents a harvest for you, a time when the seeds that you've planted in the past are starting to finally bear fruit. So pile 3, if you've been putting effort into your financial growth, this is the card that suggests that you're on the cusp of receiving rewards in some way. Pile 3, I feel like you are going to get some sort of unexpected influx of money, whether this is through investments or a promotion or some sort of new revenue stream opening up. And I wonder for some of you here, you might find that your financial situation stabilizes, and this is what allows you to enjoy the fruits of your labor as well. So The opportunity here, pile 3, is to open yourself up to this abundance and to allow it to flow in, right? So this might involve things like embracing new income avenues or finally getting that recognition for your hard work that you've been putting in. We also have crossing bridges. This one says it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So there's an emotional or an energetic bridge that needs to be crossed in order to step into this new phase of financial success for you. So I do think that this is asking you to heal past wounds or to mend relationships, right? Maybe with business partners or financial institutions or whatever it is, in order for you to move forward. So for example, if you've been through financial betrayals or setbacks or broken promises in the past, this is the card that asks us to heal those wounds. And by doing so, you're going to be able to approach new financial opportunities with a clearer mindset. So it's time to release that negativity that's been holding you back, pile 3. It's time to foster some sort of reconciliation or some closure in, whatever financial dealings or relationships that need to be dealt with, right? And I think that this is what's going to help clear that path for your new growth. So this is a great time, pile 3, for you to repair any broken trust or, get rid of any old financial baggage. Okay, so let's talk about any advice for you to maximize this next big financial opportunity. So we have Bee Spirit, and this one says sweet results await. With this, I feel like Bee Spirit is a symbol of collaboration. It's a symbol of hard work and that sweetness that comes from putting in that sustained effort. So I think that by you working diligently and focusing on small, consistent steps, you are going to eventually see the rewards, pile 3. Bees work together for the greater good, and so maybe this card is also reminding you that building your financial success might require some teamwork or, it might require some cooperation. So maybe some of you here want to form partnerships or to collaborate with others to achieve your financial goals, right? Whether that's working with, your partner or a financial advisor or, business partners or even teaming up for some sort of joint venture. I feel like this is the card that reminds us that collective effort and hard work are what's going to lead you to sweet results. So pile 3, I think it's time to remain focused, right? It's time to be patient, it's time to be collaborative, and I think it really is this time for you to trust that whatever effort you've been putting in diligently, when done consistently and with care, it's going to pay off. We also have Will of the Wisp. This one says treasures hidden in the shadows. Okay, so right away, pile 3, I'm feeling like there are some sort of like hidden opportunities or sources of wealth that might not be immediately obvious. So I feel like these treasures lie in areas that might either seem unclear or uncertain. There's some sort of financial opportunity that's not fully visible yet, or that you have to dig deeper into, maybe like in an unconventional way, or, maybe some sort of overlooked avenue. Like for example, maybe there's some sort of niche market or some sort of investment opportunity that other people have overlooked, or maybe you discover some sort of untapped resource within your own business or your own career. I just think this is the card that encourages us that it's time to explore beyond the obvious and to trust your intuition to guide you. So pile 3, stay curious, stay open to new possibilities, especially those that seem unconventional or maybe that other people dismiss. This is a reminder that wealth can sometimes come from the most unexpected places, and following your intuition can lead you to hidden gems. Let's get more information from our Animal Power book. I'll have this linked for you in the description if you feel called. We have Bee Spirit. Let's find out what else we need to know. Okay, B. So this one says fertility, royalty, harmony, community, creative inspiration. And it says when to work with me when you're ready to achieve the impossible. When you want to tap into your royal roots, when you want to connect deeply with your true community and family, when you're ready to pollinate special projects and relationships. Energy medicine. I represent harmonious community. If you want to find like-minded humans who will align to support you or help a group reach a goal, call upon me. I am royalty and know how to honor my divine power. Work with me to further empower these traits in you. I am a reminder for you that it is very possible to balance productivity with making space for sacred, mindful moments. Think of all my fellow bees and I think of all that my fellow bees and I create. Honey, pollen, propolis, I am central to the gloriousness of life and all the nature and abundance that surrounds us. Celebrate. Have you forgotten that there is so much to cherish and be grateful for? Failing to see all the treasures within yourself and in your life can create bitterness and low vibration energy. See your earthly experience with fresh eyes and heart. Call upon my pollinating energy for fertility, sex, and love. Or look to me as a symbol of a fertile time in your life, a time to birth new ideas, projects, or children. Aerodynamically, my body is not built to fly, and scientifically speaking, I shouldn't be able to. Yet I fly with skill and confidence. I carry with me the magic that nothing is impossible. Widen your visions and expand, expand, expand. Pile 3, nothing is impossible. What do you want to create? What do you want to create for your life, right? How do you want to design your life? Okay, so let's dive into any additional information that you might need to know. We have patience. This one says Capricorn, wisdom. So with this card, it says the hands of a clock move slowly. You might judge yourself as you race against the clock. Are you ahead or behind? Look to adjust how you measure yourself against other people or your own expectations. Cultivate your own sense of intuitive timing and let go of comparison. Interesting. So I feel like while the opportunities ahead are promising, it's important to take your time. All right, pile 3. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of discipline and slow, steady progress. I do have an episode, a podcast episode on this. Link is in the description if you feel called to check out my episode, but I do talk about the meaning of all the planets in astrology and the simple way to understand it. But this card encourages you to exercise patience as you work towards these financial goals. And it also tells us to avoid rushing or to avoid taking shortcuts. So, for example, if you're hoping for quick results or instant success, this card reminds us that true wealth takes time to build. Right? So don't be discouraged if things feel slow in the beginning. Stay focused on your long-term goals, pile 3, and really go ahead and trust that your efforts are going to bear fruit in time. Right? Because I feel like the key takeaway here is to stay grounded, to stay disciplined, to stay focused, and patience is really essential to achieving lasting financial success. And taking that time to build things properly will build lasting results for you. We also have the Super Attractor card here, and it says, my Super Attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith in love, and the joy I put out. Wow. So I think that this is a reminder to use your emotions as a manifestation tool also, right? As you start to practice cultivating feelings of joy and gratitude and appreciation, and of course these are all emotions that you've already felt, right, because you're human, but as you get more skilled in your manifestation techniques, right, you can do things like script, right, script out what you're grateful for, and you can actually future script. So what I like to do is if I want to manifest something new, like say a new couch, I will take out my journal and write down, I am so happy and grateful that I manifested, XYZ couch. It came sooner than expected. It's so comfortable. It benefits me and my family in this, and this way. So I just get really descriptive, and maybe this is your call to do the same. And what I want to do next is I would love to roll some astro dice to get more information for you. So tell us more about pile 3's next big financial opportunity. We have the Sun in Cancer in the 8th house. Ooh, okay, so with the Sun and Cancer in the 8th house, pile 3, I feel like your next big financial opportunity is going to be related to some sort of joint venture or inheritance or some sort of passive income stream, especially those that are tied to things like family or real estate or any sort of emotional or intuitive work. With the Sun in Cancer here in the 8th house, think about things like investments or shared resources or transformative financial partnerships that are rooted in things like trust and emotional intelligence. So thank you so much, pile 3. I hope this was fun for you. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what resonates. I love to chat with you on the comments. You guys know you're my spiritual besties. And give this video a like if it does resonate, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourself. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of other readings and videos for you to explore. If you feel called to check out my spirituality and personal development podcast or my online shop, I also have that linked for you in the description as well. So thank you so much, friends. Love y'all. Bye. Hey Pile 4, hey friends, welcome to your reading all about your next big financial opportunity. So let's first talk about your current financial energy. Let's find out if there's any blockages or challenges to overcome as it has to do with your next big financial opportunity. We have the King of Wands in reverse here. And so with this, I wonder if there's any of you out there, Pile 4, who feels like there's a sense of stagnation or maybe a lack of direction when it comes to your financial ambitions. Maybe some of you here feel like your leadership qualities are not being fully expressed, or maybe there's a disconnect between your ambitions and your current approach to your finances. So I wonder if there's some of you who feel like you're moving forward without a clear plan, and maybe you feel like you've been either like missing opportunities or having difficulty in taking decisive action. So for example, right, like maybe some of you have big ideas for your business or your career, but you're having trouble following through with the right steps, and it's causing delays or frustration. Or maybe some of you here feel like you're distracted by flashy opportunities that sound good, but maybe they don't have that like long-term stability or growth. Or maybe there's like a lack of motivation or a feeling of burnout where you're feeling unsure of how to take that next step to push forward financially. We also have the Six of Wands here. I feel like Pile 4, many of you here have had success or recognition for your efforts, and it brings hope and encouragement, right? So this is the card that talks about public approval, public recognition, acknowledgement. And so I feel like the financial opportunities that you're exploring, they do have the potential for positive feedback and reward. And I also feel like some of you here could be dealing with the challenge of maintaining this momentum, right? So maybe some of you here have been recognized for your skills or your achievements at work, and I feel like this recognition can lead you to this wonderful financial opportunity. So maybe some of you here have had like a successful project, but now the challenge is to sustain that success or translate it into ongoing rewards. Pile 4, I wonder if for some of you here, maybe you've even been feeling that pressure to perform, right? Or to maintain whatever level of success that you've either already achieved or you're about to achieve. Now, next I want to talk about this big financial opportunity that's on the horizon for you. So we have the catalyst, and with the catalyst, I feel like there's going to be some sort of significant spark or some sort of significant event that propels your financial situation forward. So I wonder if this is going to be a like a new opportunity or a major realization or a change in direction that's going to act for your catalyst for growth. I also feel like this catalyst could come in the form of a new partnership or some sort of sudden insight or a shift in your financial circumstances, right? Something that triggers this like surge of progress. Now, I feel like the key opportunity here is to be prepared to seize the moment when it comes up, right? So Pile 4, be open to unexpected changes or opportunities that could suddenly shift your financial trajectory, right? This is the card that reminds us to stay alert and to embrace any new beginnings or disruptions that present themselves. I feel like this could be a really good starting point for you to have this substantial financial progress. I feel like this could be a great starting point for you to have this substantial financial progress. We also have view from above, and this one says get the big picture. So I do think, Pile 4, that it would be important to step back and take a look at your financial perspective from a bigger perspective, right? From a broader perspective. I feel like right now, maybe you're focusing on the small details, but in order to truly capitalize on the upcoming opportunity, you need to see the larger context. So maybe there's a need to assess your goals or your strategies or your decisions in a more holistic way, right? So I feel like it's important for you to gain a fresh perspective and consider how different aspects of your life, whether it be business or career, how do they intersect to, impact your finances? Because when you take a step back, you can identify, new paths and connections or opportunities that maybe you've previously overlooked. So this is definitely the card about seeing the forest and not just the trees. So next, let's talk about some advice for maximizing this next big financial opportunity. We have Koala Spirit. This one says, Spirit has a plan. So I feel like this is telling us that you don't have to rush into decisions and you don't have to force things, Pile 4, right? Spirit, the universe, your higher self, God, whatever it is that resonates with you, because we do have space for everybody's unique needs and differences on this channel. I love that we're an eclectic bunch here, and I always say that you guys are my spiritual besties. So I just love that this is a safe space for all of us to just be who we are. But what I was trying to say here was, you know, whatever you believe in, right? Or whether you don't believe in anything and you just, you know, believe in yourself or your higher self, it has a plan for you, and everything is unfolding in its own time. So it's important for you to trust the process, Pile 4. Be patient and remember to stay aligned with your goals, because just as a koala rests and takes time, you're being asked to stay grounded, right? Trust your intuition and wait for that right moment to act. Maintain faith, maintain patience. I think while it's important to take action when necessary, you also need to trust that the right opportunities will come to you at the right time. So focus on the present moment, really go ahead and align your actions with your inner wisdom, and know that things are going to work out the way that they're meant to, right? We also have Covenant. This one says Sacred Contract. So I feel like this represents either like a promise or an agreement, right? Some sort of higher commitment. So I wonder if this refers to either like a sacred contract that you have with yourself or with others regarding your financial path. I think this also reminds us to stay true to yourself, right? Stay true to your values, stay true to your principles when you make financial decisions, or any sort of formal agreement or partnership or collaboration that you feel is key to your financial growth. So I feel like to maximize whatever big financial opportunity is coming your way, it's time for you to start to consider long-term commitments that you're making and make sure that they align with your values and your purpose. So, you know, whether you're entering a business partnership or negotiating a contract, or, you know, whether you're committing to a personal goal, I just feel like it's important for you to make sure that the agreement feels right on a deeper level to you. Trust that the right collaborations and the right contracts will come your way, and it's time for you to start honoring your part in those agreements as well, you know? And remember to honor your part in those agreements as well. Let's dive into any additional info. So we have Mercury. This one says Mindset, and it says, a fox surveys the landscape. Notice the way you assess and interpret a situation. Discover a new, more objective perspective by writing in a journal, talking to a trusted counselor or friend, reading or learning. Most of all, find clarity by listening to your inner wisdom. So Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the planet of the intellect. By the way, if you are interested in learning more about what each planet means, as it has to do with understanding your astrology, I do have podcast episodes on each of the planets. They're short and sweet, and I break it down in an easy, beginner-friendly way. So check out my podcast below, the That's Deep podcast. I have it linked for you in the description. But with this, I feel like with Mercury, this is telling me that your mindset is going to play a crucial role in manifesting this next big financial opportunity. I wonder, Pile 4, if for some of you here, maybe you need to shift the way you think about money, or shift the way you think about opportunities or your own worth. I think it's important to focus on clear communication, both with yourself and others, because this is going to be really important as you're navigating this next phase of your financial journey. Now, to maximize this opportunity, I feel like it's really important to focus on refining that mental clarity, right? Refining that approach to your finances. So maybe this is you like doing something to improve your financial literacy, right? Or reevaluating your money mindset, or maybe engaging in clear communication around business deals or negotiations. I just think that Mercury as a planet encourages us to think strategically. It encourages us to make decisions that are based on logic and clarity, and not just, you know, emotions or impulses. We also have a super attractor card here. This one says, I am patient knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. Wow, okay, so it looks like this person here is pregnant. So I wonder for some of you here, if you're either parents, you're about to be parents, you want to be, maybe you are like a pet parent, plant parents, you know what I mean? Or maybe you're just a very nurturing person, you're in a nurturing role. But it looks like this person's like being given a gift by an angel. So I wonder if your next big opportunity has to do with like children, or having a child, or caring for children, right? Like maybe some of you here don't have children, maybe don't want to have children, but this is just one example, but you want to open a school, right? You want to open a nonprofit for children or something like that, right? There's so many different possibilities here, but I also feel like this kind of like coincides with getting that view from above, zooming out, getting that bigger picture, knowing that all the steps that you're taking towards this big goal, right? All the work and the effort that you've been putting in, that whatever it develops into is going to be beautiful, right? However it comes to fruition is going to be magnificent, right? So I think it's just trusting in the process, and it's trusting in yourself, right? So, okay, the next thing I want to do here is I would love to check out our animal power book, get more information on koala spirit. Okay, so we have koala here, and this one says rest and relaxation, calmness, steady climb, mystical knowingness, wonder, sharing love, forgiveness, and release. When to work with me, when you want to slow down and relax, when you want to release anger, when you want to open up paternal instincts, when you want to be less reactive, when you want to release addiction to drama or stress, when you want to forgive, when you want to let go of grudges and animosity, when you want to experience awe, when you want to trust the big picture. Energy medicine. My medicine helps you release grudges and find the ability to forgive. Is there anyone, yourself included, you could send forgiveness to? This can be done energetically or through personal communication. Call upon me when you need to be less reactive and more centered. I empowered an even keel state of emotions, allowing you to operate with heart-centered clarity rather than reacting from a place of ego and defensiveness. I am your reminder that it's time to rest and go with the flow. If you have been pushing too hard or leaning into drama, anxiety, or stress, consider whether you have become addicted to this way of being. Do you trust that things can be different? I'm here to help you remember your true divine nature. Aside from all that's going on externally, what are the ancient truths that live inside of you? I represent Great Mother Earth, nourishment, the womb, and parental love. Is there any inner healing work that you could do to tend to your inner child or your relationship with parents or children? Interesting. We were just talking about children. So yeah, I wonder how that resonates with some of you here. But what I'm getting from this is work with koala spirit when you want to trust the bigger picture. And I just think that's pretty cool, because view from above, get the big picture, kind of like knowing when you're patient that whatever is coming is of the highest good to you. So if you feel like checking out this animal power book, I'll have it linked for you in the description. Let's also roll some astro dice. All right, let's get more info on Pile 4's next big financial opportunity. So you have Venus in Scorpio in the 7th house. Okay, so with Venus in Scorpio in the 7th house here, Pile 4, I feel like your next big financial opportunity could come through deep strategic partnerships, especially in business or real estate or investments. I feel like it's also time to look for high value collaborations or contracts or any sort of joint venture where you can leverage that magnetic influence and those negotiation skills that you have. I think that things like trust and power dynamics and long-term financial growth are going to be key themes for you here. So thank you so much, Pile 4. I hope you had fun with that reading. Please give this video a like if it resonates. Comment below with what came up for you, with what resonates, with what pile you chose. You know I love to chat with you all in the comments. I always say y'all are my spiritual besties. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Please take care of yourself. If you feel called, check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of other pick a card readings for you to explore and other videos as well. So Yes, and also if you feel called to check out my personal development and spirituality podcast or my online shop, be sure to check out the links in the description as well. So until next time, friends, love y'all and take care. Bye.